In a week which has seen some of the biggest F1 news in recent memory, we are going to discuss everything to do with sim racing and try not to divulge too much into the big headlines today as we discuss Le Mans Ultimate, unfortunately being delayed or not, an early access announcement with it being announced that on the 20th of February, the initial date of the release, we will be getting a limited edition of it. Once again, I am Sam Fitzpatrick. Alongside me is David Sampson. And, well, David, let's jump straight into the Le Mans Ultimate news. What have you made from this? Were you surprised when you saw this?
Yes, because it had been delayed. It was delayed in December to February 25th.
20th.
Yes,
You were there.
I was there. I
That's why
didn't need to
didn't
keep
interrupt.
didn't need to keep talking. So to see it being now announced as, again, I still need to look up what this means. Early access, but in my day that meant not finished.
Yeah.
It's a shame to see, because if they were surely December, we could have had early access, right?
Sure. Yeah. Just to cover this, in case people aren't familiar, Le Mans Ultimate has had a release date of the 20th of February for a few months now, and we've been questioning, is it actually going to be released on the 20th of February? And being quite skeptical of it because we haven't seen that much release stuff about it. And it turns out now that they're going to give an early access on the 20th of February. So it's still a release of 20th of February, but it's not going to be the full game. Is this good? Is this bad? I think there's some divides in opinions of it. In terms of elements which are going to be in the sim, and a lot of this information we got from overtake.gg, who have done a couple of good videos and a couple of good articles as well on the matter. We are going to have online. We are going to have most of the circuits. We are going to have the entire 2023 roster.
Bar the Mustang.
Bar the Mustang.
Not the Mustang, the
NASCAR.
The NASCAR,
thing.
yeah, sorry, yeah.
We are going to have all of those, which is a good start to a game.
It is.
I think we could have a lot of fun on 6 tracks, 3 classes, against potentially hundreds of thousands of drivers online.
Got Monza, Le Mans, Paul Ricard? No.
Portimao.
Sebring. Of course, yeah. The Algarve. Oh no, Portimao, yeah. Fuji's in there for launch?
Yeah, I think so. We could just look at the 2023 roster, but the Kota isn't on there. So we're not 100% sure that all the tracks are going to be there.
Kota, Interlagos. Spa. Oh, Spa is on there.
Spa will be on there.
Spa's on there.
Yes, but no Qatar, which is on the 2024 roster, no Imola on the 2024 roster.
They're doing 2023.
No yeah.
So GTEs, not GT3s.
Yeah.
No Lambo, LMD, sorry, because it's the obviously Ferrari and the wingless Peugeot. We're getting those. Then obviously the BMW, the Acura. We're even getting the see, in iRacing we would never get the smaller one, the smaller programmed car. The
Glickenhaus?
No, not Glickenhaus. Well, I don't know if we're getting them, but the
we are getting the Glickenhaus.
The Van Wall.
Van Wall.
Yeah, I didn't expect to be getting that, to be honest. But yeah, so when Sam mentioned online, we're getting the full ranked system. Beginner, intermediate, advanced, driver ranking, safety rating, the full R-Factor 2 online system, copy and pasted, but it's working. Launch price is $24.99. But we don't know if that's what you're paying for.
Yeah, we're not sure if that gives you access to the game at a later date, if that's the full game, or whether this is just early access.
Part down payment.
And then they're like, well, yeah, come on, now give us 50 quid. Like, yeah, we gave you early access. Like, you should be grateful for us. It has been argued, and again, this is from Overtake, and it was a good opinion piece, which actually this is a good thing. That you actually, for us, as sim racers, we get early access, basically, to this game.
AI.
Yeah.
Race weekends, so practice, qualifying, and the race, you get to set
rain,
up. Yep.
time of day on all the tracks.
Apparently an upgraded track surface model than R-Factor 2. Obviously, it's based on R-Factor 2, but all of the cars are fresh. They promise in from the ground up rather than R-Factor 2s and tweaked. New asphalt. Evening.
That's Nick in chat.
Yep.
Nick on. Yeah, welcome, Nick. That's the things that are in it. The things that aren't in it. There's no co-op mode. A function that a lot of people are excited about is the idea that you can do like online races with other people, and you can do, say, 2 hours, save the game. Someone in Australia can load up the game, do 2 hours, save the game, and which is quite a cool thing.
It was a weird concept, but it was a different way of doing endurance racing that is, I mean, it's really different for what we're used to. But I would have liked to try it out.
Yeah. I hope. I don't know if you'll be able to do that solo, whether you'll be able to save it yourself. Nick Horn saying a very legitimate point that maybe the early access is to manage cash flow whilst they're looking for further investment. Obviously, motorsport games losing a lot of investment, and so maybe they don't have the money to continue for several more months, and so they need to have the early access, get some money in from us suckers, and then they can keep the game going, and then they can do a full release in the summer and earn more money there. It's a very good show.
Yeah.
Triple's unsure as well.
They need to build some. They need to build some trust. We need to know how it's priced. Like, is 2024 roster just a free upgrade? Is it a DLC? I just want to know. Like, motorsport games just need to build trust now.
Yeah.
Or
they should rename. That's
correct.
The first thing that they should
I would
do,
have done that. I would have done that ages ago, right? Jeez.
It's a good name, though. Motorsport Games is a really good name.
It is, but they've destroyed that name.
What would you call it?
Anything, mate. It doesn't matter what you call it, just not that. It doesn't matter. Honestly. You could give it a bad name. They've dragged sim racing through the mud over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Hurt sim racing.
Mm.
They've taken opportunities for the largest sim racing event the planet's ever had and run it through the mud. We're lucky Verstappen even is interested in all this sim racing after what he was put for. Like, you know, they've risked, and everything they've done has been not just a failure. No, that's not their way. A spectacular failure every time.
Yep. And yeah, we're absolutely picking that this isn't the same case. No VR, unfortunately, on release. Triples are unsure. I'd be very disappointed if there's not triples. But then Rennsport still doesn't have triples, does it?
Yeah, so the triple conversation, let's elaborate on. They just haven't said it's in the game.
It's a reasonable expectation that it might not be in there, because they're in the stage now where they're trying to sell the game as much as they can, and so saying it's got triples is like a basic thing that they could say in order to increase trust, as you were saying before. So there's a decent chance it won't. This just pissed me off for some reason.
Chill.
Sorry, I've never used that language ever, let alone on stream.
And on this is on Spotify. You're everywhere now. iTunes, everywhere.
We've been demonetized.
You've been demonetized.
Yeah. There goes my wages. They said, as for the this is a quote from overtake.gg. As for the 2024 season content or as for the 2024 season content or historical vehicles, there's the following hints provided by Motorsport Games. There's certainly a huge amount of current and historic inspiration to draw from. I really dislike that quote. I maybe haven't read it out very clearly, but basically they've been asked, "Oh, are you going to have historic cars and the current cars?" And they said, "Well, let's just say there's a lot of potential when it comes to that." don't boast about how you're going to add stuff to the game when you can't even get the current roster on. Don't be like, oh well, watch this space. I mean, we're really
Yeah, we
gonna
have
be,
been watching.
we're going to be bringing out a lot of stuff. No, bring out like the game first. Yeah, don't get ahead of yourself by saying that you're going to add the
Loads of
1979
DLCs.
roster
Yeah.
of Le Mans cars.
That would
Get
be
the
great.
2024 cars out first. What a dumb thing to say, and totally overambitious.
Yeah. Oh, let's read chat. King Sim. Paul, hello, mate. It's been a hot minute. Bam.
Nick Horn concerned about me. I do have the ban.
Yeah.
Maybe it's having a bad influence on me.
David is spot on. Studio Freelancer. A lot of love from the about MS. Yeah. I love Studio 397. R Factor 2 means a lot to me. No, I don't play it much, sure, but I think the foundation they built is fantastic. They've now got the online ranked servers. It's now good. I probably didn't even need iRacing back when I was on R Factor 2, but there was nothing to do. How have you been, Paul?
I've been. There's a little bit of a debate, I think, and I think a few people have said online about how has Rennsport scarred us when it comes to sim racing releases. Have we got to such a point now where we have such a negative perception of one, early access, and honestly, the reason why that quite annoyed me before was partially because that type of stuff of saying how people are going to add stuff to the games, which is clearly miles away, is basically what Rennsport have been doing for the last 2 years, where they get asked a question, will you be adding this? And they say, well, yeah, we will be adding this, and well, when we do, it's gonna be pretty good. It's like, no, you've released like 2 tracks so far and like hardly any cars. Get like the basic stuff on, then you can start hinting about having extra stuff. I think we have a partially negative perception because of Rennsport, all of this. Maybe that's clouding our judgment.
Yeah, for me, it's... I say this phrase, how hard can it be? I mean, all these companies seem to fumble when there's such a passionate... I mean, our community, sim racing, it's not the biggest, no. But we spend an awful lot of money. Like, we spend... Like, whenever someone's asking me how expensive a hobby is, I'm always like, golf. You know, it's the full-on golf for life, expensive gloves, bag, traveling, all the fees, the memberships. It's an expensive passion, but if you enjoy doing it, then it's just what you spend your money on. If you do golf and sim racing, then you're destined to be poor. But I just don't understand how none of these games get it right. They know how to make the arcade games. I mean, Forza Horizon and those sort of... That's money. They're absolutely multi-million-pound money. For the online competitive to the esport area, maybe there's not as much money in it, but I just cannot believe other companies can't put a compelling package together, especially on release. I was talking to, this is completely off script, I was talking to Sam about to say that how big it would be if Gran Turismo they would need what, 1 meeting, 3 months work, speak to some sponsors and maybe ESL, but Gran Turismo Esports PC edition. So it's a focused Gran Turismo. It has all the tracks. It has all the cars that are relevant to competitive racing. No ice cream trucks and road cars, all that nonsense and whatever. No far chase driving. Doesn't support controllers. No, it won't work on the PlayStation. Doesn't have to use a Fanatec rim. It's full-blown sim racing from daily competitive all the way up to esports, special events, hosted leagues, the works. The other, that's what I'm saying. No one's laying down a foundation that they seem to be not worried about that, because that would be over. Even iRacing, the strength they are, I don't think people realize how huge it would be. You know, I just want it because streaming to 6,000 people sounds a lot more appealing. You know, I'm not being selfish at all.
And we want to have an increased amount of pool of drivers as well when it comes to sim racing, and increased hype. And it would just be a cyclical effect, which would hopefully benefit the franchise. So that would be very good. I'm a bit scared about this. What's happened? This isn't usually the buttons we have. It was working fine, like just before we went on stream, but what? I don't know what's happened to it.
You tried shaking it.
Our stream deck has like we've got different buttons. I'm sure Lee's driving home now, just with his head in his hands,
He knows what
thinking,
he did.
what has he done, or what have we done? Is what I mean, because
No, that's not. I don't think we'll be able to share screen.
I don't wanna break anything. So
We only have the one. Yeah.
it was honestly fine. I don't know what's changed. It was literally I was toggling around.
Do you
with
know
it.
how you was?
I was toggling around with it
What
like
about
just
studio
before we
on
went
air?
to stream.
Hopefully we're still live.
I think we were right. I think we were right.
Yeah, so we can't play the video.
No, I don't.
You don't know how to set that up there.
Sorry.
That's okay. You can go apologise
I
to
mean,
me.
I could have a quick look.
Go on.
I'm gonna have a quick look.
Be
You
brave.
chat about stuff.
I'll chat.
Do you want to? No, well, I was about being up that, but we can't do that. Feel free to talk about the next thing.
No, it's fine. I've got plenty to say. Oh, we are still here. Yes, we was pressing a button we were scared to. Almost Pro. Hey, Ryan. Hope you've been well. Nice to see you all. But yeah, so obviously I wish that Motorsport Games and Studio 397 would separate, and somehow the studio hangs on to the WEC license. I like WEC. I like multi-class. I love WEC. It's probably this year, probably my most excited motorsport to be watching on television. I've always followed F1 close, but just with the way it's going, it's been, yeah. Yep, that's it, mate. Legend. You can come back now. All right, we're all fixed. We will be showing you a video because I actually want to. Oh my god! Oh, that's the clip done. Right, let's show them the video because this is a.
I pressed a button called the late apex, and it works.
Right, we'll show you a Le Mans Ultimate trailer. The last one we show you. The next time we show you Le Mans Ultimate, me and Sam
can't guarantee anything.
Yeah, if it comes out.
Yeah, we should. Yeah. Man, I'm really proud of myself.
Well done for pressing the correct button. Come on, let's go. Right, so 39-second trailer, but I mean, it does look good.
You're faster than the cars ahead.
The Ferrari sound. Pardon?
Even podcast listeners can appreciate this because you've got the race director, you got the commentary, you got just the sounds. The sound is so good of the LMH is so much better than iRacing sound.
Yeah. Brilliant.
And that end page as well, where it comes up with like the dates and stuff. All they've had to do is just add one line. It's early access. That's it. Wouldn't notice.
But no, the cars do sound and look good. I mean, the rain looks good. The puddles look good. The ambient lighting looks good. The race official, that guy who used to do all the yellow flags. I love his serious, calm voice. I've always loved it. Ryan with a good point. If we foul, possible return of 24 Le Mans back to racing. But the problem, and it's a big problem, is it just this constant killing of competition? While it sounds good because we're iRacing people and like, yes, we get IndyCar back, we get Le Mans back.
We shouldn't have a monopoly.
Correct. If we have the monopoly and we are winning, we go back to going nowhere. Let's look at iRacing's recent developments. They've all come about because of Rennsport and companies like that pushing them. And look how well it's done. iRacing let Blackpain split, and that formed ACC. They let Le Mans go, and that formed this game. They let I'm not saying iRacing doesn't care, but the new iRacing today will be like, no, we're not losing that license. Whatever they paid, we'll pay you 100 grand more. You know, we need competition.
Yeah. I'm curious. Does anyone know where this is on Le Mans? I think it's Le Mans, but I still don't know where this is on track. It's really tricky to tell, and I'm sure that the stream isn't exactly helping. If it does help, go to the Le Mans Ultimate article on overtake.gg. I think it's on the exit of the Ford of the Porsche curves, but or actually I think it's on the inside of Tetra Rouge. But let me know if you think it's different because I pride myself on knowing absolutely like anywhere. You like GeoGuessr. I'm like pro geoguesser, but with race circuits, and I honestly am not sure where that is.
I don't know.
So please let us know. If that's the pit exit, then that's worrying because that's
Yeah, because then it's really
that's
wrong.
wrong. Where they haven't got the scenery.
Talking of pit exit, did you see? Is it Forza? Yeah, we've talked about that. The Forza.
What the block
on
where
Daytona.
You can't go through
Yeah,
the pit
they
exit at
just they
Daytona.
put a wall.
Like, come on, guys. Sorry, I think I'm going to.
Yeah, we're pretty sure that track is Le Mans. We just were debating where on the track it is. Oh, we've got a good video to show you after this, 100%.
Yeah, moving on to Assetto Corsa
And what Assetto Corsa does best? Modding.
mods.
Yeah, 100%. So we have...
This is our tie into F1. We can talk about F1 after this, shall we?
Correct, yeah,
Because
because...
this is a
Segue.
mod of the Madrid circuit. A really good one. Just the world that we live in, where literally the day that the race was announced,
Yeah, I know.
this was released. Obviously, they didn't create it in a day or anything, but like it was absolutely on ready. This looks mega. This circuit. It's not going to be easy to overtake. Look at that. And you think that's good? Come, watch out for this next right-hander. Look at that. That's like old Mexico City final corner. The elevation change as well, like in person, it's going to be insane.
Whoa.
Madrid is a very mountainous, or very hilly area,
Oh my
very
goodness.
high altitude, and it's absolutely phenomenal.
Hey, this guy driving the mod ain't too bad either.
No, he's doing a good job. Or she. Looks like a really great circuit, right? Like, it's going to be really tricky to overtake, like I said, but as a driver's circuit, I would say that's up there with like Jeddah as one of the most demanding circuits I've ever seen created for Formula 1.
Yeah, that was designed by Nuke Drop, Tyrone Hesbrock.
Yeah.
And it's available on Race Department. What an
work.
addition.
Yeah.
It looks like a kind of track that would take a while in GT4.
Yeah.
I don't know, just get the impression it would take about an hour. It felt like. But no, that's the thing I love best at Corsa. I mean, I remember whenever the next generation of Formula One cars get announced, bam, day later, they're all available in a set course to go try out.
Yeah.
Really exciting. Yeah, good way to. So actually, a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, I forget what track it was, but it was coming to iRacing, and I didn't know it. So I fired up a set Corsa, loaded up a mod, and learnt it.
Okay, yeah.
Because then we had some streamer event, or our streamers were competing on the day the track came out. So I thought, what a good way to get prepped up, go practice it in a different sim. But yeah, iRacing.
And you won? You didn't say the end of that, so you didn't say how you did in the race.
Yeah, I took part.
Yeah.
I did.
That was the end.
It was the end. There was, yeah,
From
that
your
faded.
perspective.
I did not win. No. This was like 18 months ago. So I was probably only
Probably like Manucore or something.
3K, something like, yeah.
So yeah, that is available via Race Department. Go on Race Department, and you can download that track, enjoy it for yourself. I'm much more excited about Madrid now. With that genuinely looks like an interesting street.
I don't know where you'd pass though. It's so high speed.
Yeah, but
I mean, was there actually any heavy braking zones?
you can't overtake, I guess. But I don't know.
But it looked
As long as
epic.
it's fun, I'm sort of alright with it at this point with tracks. There's a lot of tracks which are designed for good racing, like Miami, and it turns out to be rubbish.
No, I
in
get
terms of
you.
racing, and it's rubbish when it comes to driving. At least that's going to be good for driving. So
Like,
it's got one of the boxes ticked.
I hated and was completely against Baku. I love Baku racing.
Baku's amazing, yeah.
So it is hard to get it right. The gauge for what's going to be good, what's going to be bad.
I think Derp Box saying in the YouTube chat, I think the image that we were showing before, he thinks that this is the track just before Virage Ford. That's what I'll say on the exit of the Porsche curves, right?
Oh, of course.
You see, I was thinking that, but I.
It is. Yeah. Of course it
sure?
is. Yeah. I think to the left-hand side of that wall is the curb, the curbing, the track out curbing iRacing we use for the slowdown. Yeah, this is the final part of the left swinger before the right.
You see, I was thinking that was my first instinct, but then I thought on the left there should be more stuff. Maybe it's just that they haven't like detailed that stuff, but I mean, it might be. I want it to be Tetra Rouge, but like that left side looks so just empty.
Yeah, no, I get you.
So it doesn't look like it, but I don't know. Let us know in chat if anyone else has any ideas. Nick Horn saying, I'm going to wave my Chicago street course flag again. Love that layout. I absolutely agree, Nick. Really fun layout. So tricky. Really demanding circuit. Lots of 90-degree corners. So you got to get so close to the walls. If you lock a brake, you're in the wall because there's no escape roads. Really good track. And I do wish it was used more, but people hate that track. Alexander Spetz is around. Hello, Alex. Hopefully you're enjoying iRacing. I think you were doing some races at Sebring, of course, in IMSA. So hope you're having a good time of it. Shall we move on to the next?
Well, we could stay on the segue for Formula One.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, so sim racers. Which sim racer should replace Lewis Hamilton at Mercedes?
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? Obviously, I want to say like Kev or Sanchez, but I mean, someone like Job, Sebastian Job.
Well, Job is the one that I'd like to see in a real life car more.
I think all sim racers would like to see.
I don't know how that isn't a documentary yet. I said this like last week, but I thought about it a little bit more earlier on. Verstappen's loaded. If Verstappen went to Netflix and said, I'm going to invest 2 million into I'm going to invest 1 million into Job so he can do, I don't know, British F3. And I'm going to invest 1 million into a documentary about him. And the amount of engagement there'd be, because Verstappen could do like a 10-minute interview before the season starts, and then they just insert clips of that interview throughout the rest of the season. Verstappen has to do 10 minutes of recording. Apart from that, you just follow around Job, and you get like a behind the scenes of what it's like being like a low time, driver. You have bits of his sim racing as well. And it would just be a phenomenal documentary.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And I don't know how it's not been made yet. I think it will be made, but yeah, that needs to happen.
Mark's got a point.
Verstappen game. I mean, I was thinking about this as well, Mark. I think Verstappen hates Drive to Survive rather than Netflix because Drive to Survive is totally fake. Like
he hated all
it's
that.
A fake show.
Oh, you and Lando said these things like, yeah, but not in that order.
Well, yeah.
The context was wrong as well.
But I think. I don't think he's got anything against Netflix necessarily. I think it's just a case that he has stuff against Drive to Survive. I think if he had control over the documentary more so, I was like, all right, guys, you're actually going to report on this and you're going to make a factual thing about it. You're not going to make stuff up for entertainment. I think he'd be up for it. Or Prime. I mean, let's drop Netflix. Let's say he makes it on Prime instead.
We only all watch Prime because we have Amazon Prime. Nobody gets Amazon Prime for the TV.
I think my dad would get Amazon Prime for Clarkson's farm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Clarkson's a good... I suppose I'm more thinking about... I've been in America for like 11 years. Over there, everyone had Amazon Prime, but no one was watching Amazon Private TV, and then it started to pick up. Amazon
Prime used to have tennis, and then they lost tennis. So I would have purchased it in 2023, but unfortunately, not anymore. And they sometimes have Premier League football as well, Amazon Prime.
On the subject of F1, the Andretti. Let's at least talk about that.
I'm very much behind the curve on this one, but all I know is that they've been rejected again.
Correct. And I don't know if you saw, but breaking news today, like just before the show, these weren't not the reasons they didn't get in, just some of the points. Two of the points Andretti argued. One, that they had an invite for an in-person meeting to discuss the finer details, and Formula One said they chose not to attend. In the response, they were like...
F1 didn't attend?
No, Andretti didn't respond or attend.
Okay.
And Andretti was like, we knew no such thing, right? And then an hour before the show, 10 minutes before the show, it was in their junk mail.
Oh.
Serious.
Wow.
Yeah. And the other point was something to do with the the year in and like where they are on the development curve, and Andretti shot back like the only reason this is a multi-year conversation is how long you guys have taken. Like, forget, like, are you kidding? There is a reason, like, all these paperwork is on a 2-year, because we kind of knew, like, we weren't going to be getting in for X year, so we were prepping for the year after. It wasn't us, oh, we're not ready or financially ready, or won't have the car in. We just, you guys
wanted
are...
to be on the grid already.
Yeah, you're so slow.
I honestly just, I haven't been following it because I just find it depressing.
It's
just they should be on the grids. F1's big enough to support 11 teams. It's supported 11 teams in the past. They should be on the grid, and yeah, everyone in F1 is conspiring not to get them on the grid.
So they set the payment. There's a payment thing that they have to pay.
150 mil.
Yeah, that gets spread out to absorb any blah blah blah, and it is blah blah. Because I don't want to say anymore, because they're saying Andretti and Chevrolet won't be. They said it would not financially benefit Formula One. Yet Red Bull can rename their sister team Cash App from Visa Cash App RB, right? And we've got MoneyGram Haas.
Yep.
We've got crypto names all over most cars. Cigarette companies that are rebranded, recolored, repurposed, everything so that they're not, and they only run them in certain countries to bypass the laws. They're allowed to do that and drag the sport through the mud. And yet Andretti, a pedigree racing team and one of the largest American car manufacturers, are declined based on... I don't understand this is what always bothers me. That fee, the 150, just price it correctly. If you mean 1 billion, say that.
Yeah, but they can't change it until the next Concorde thing.
Yeah,
So
but stop
that's the
putting an
idea
amount that won't make any sense.
Yeah, but it does make sense in terms of 150 million is enough to cover the other teams, but the other teams still don't want them to join. They're talking about potentially maybe they're pushing it back and saying no, so that when the next Concorde deal comes out, I think in 2028, they can say, well, now we're demanding 400 million. They can actually change it. I think if I was Andretti, I don't want Andretti to join now because I think Andretti deserve better.
Right, so I think
some other
new rule, 104% rule in qualifying. Yeah, 104, because then we can start getting rid of the trash. If we really are limited how many teams we can have.
And that's a good point as well, that some of the lower back market teams have said, oh, well, we couldn't survive. Well, I'd say survival of the fittest. If Williams
leave them.
can't survive, if Williams are the 11th best team
Bye-bye.
and they can't be financially secure,
Yeah.
we'll go back to 10 teams and Williams will be out and we'll have a better team in Andretti.
I'd love that. End of qualifying. No, what do you mean no? You haven't qualified for the race. Out.
Yeah.
And then the sponsors don't pay, and then we lose a team, and then we can start bringing in new teams. That might be a bit harsh, and it might destroy the sport, but we're destroying the sport. We're destroying the sport a slower, worse way. We can't have teams named. I don't understand how Andretti, Cadillac, 150 million is worse than all these crazy rebrands. You know, we have no backup name to call the Red Bull sister team. We can't. It's not AlphaTauri. It's not Toro Rosso. It's Visa Cash App RB. Are we going to call them Red Bull and RB? How do we tell that to new people? Like, how do we... Like, we've always had a backup name. Of course, MoneyGram, Haas, whatever. We're never going to say the word MoneyGram again. We're never going to... It won't come up. We'll call them Haas. That's fine. But Red Bull have done it in such a malicious way where we're forced to call them...
Sure, yeah.
Visa Cash App.
Yeah. Yeah, but I know I don't mind that element because everyone's so money orientated that I don't have any like, oh, this is a nice, healthy, good spirited sport. I just think, oh, it's money. But that's fair enough. They are shareholders. They'll make money, and that's what they care about. Again, one of the reasons why I dislike Reddit people is because they go on about how F1. I've had this rant before. They go on, oh, they don't care about the sport. It's all about money nowadays. Of course it's all about money. They have shareholders who won't make money. They don't care about the sport. They never did. And that is the sad truth.
There are officially papers named Racing Bulls. I didn't know that. Racing Bulls.
Alan Luth said in chat, by the way, that if you get more than if you're outside of 105% 5 times, your team gets sold.
Sold.
Which I really like. That's a good method. You know, get these. It's like managers. you lose 6 games in a row in the Premier League, you get sacked, pretty much. You can be a good manager and you're going to get sacked. That should be how it is in Formula 1. Get rid of Toto if he doesn't win 6 races in a row for Mercedes. And let's get some fresh blood in these things. Get Sam Allardyce. If Sam Allardyce, managed Ferrari, they would have won a title since 2007. I can guarantee you
Oh,
that.
really? Can you?
He would have put some heads together. Tony Pulis as well. They would have sorted out Ferrari by now, honestly. But
Yeah, I think that's everything F1.
when you're talking about Sam Allardyce taking over Ferrari, you really know that you've scratched the bottom of the F1 news.
It's funny how people complain about racing balls when they're literally called Red Bull in another language. Yeah, but that was classy.
Yeah, that was
Toro
an
Rosso.
Italian team.
I liked that. I was a fan of that.
They're not an Italian team though anymore. They're relocating to the UK.
So they are Italian team because they haven't relocated yet.
I don't know how much they have relocated. They might be making all their stuff now. And
Do you know
they're
it
just
was-
taking the Red Bull now, aren't they? Anyway,
It was actually part of the purchase from.
Minardi.
Yeah,
it
part
had
of
to
the
be an
agreement was okay.
Mm.
You can have it all.
Yeah.
But it stays here.
Yeah, shame if we only have one Italian team. And Haas, because they get their cars made by Dallara. so it's
Tractors. I
sort
thought you
of-
say tractors. Sorry.
they're sort of Italian, but they're sort of American, but they're sort of British.
It's just a Ferrari, mate. That's why it's terrible.
Yeah. Still, I'm hoping Hulk gets the Mercedes seat. Should have got it in 2017. He'll get it in 2020.
I like Colt and I'll back him forever, but man,
He's a quality driver.
he is. And but
Best
when it's
qualifier
crunch
on the grid.
time,
Don't
he turns
give me
into
that.
Latifi.
Don't give me that. He's had a couple of spins, all right? But he nearly won a race in a Force India.
He
many
nearly
people
scored a
have done
point. Yes.
Albon is linked to a 3-year deal with Red Bull. Zach, you might be correct.
That's Mark. Oh, wait, are you both? They're both saying it. Oh, okay, yeah.
I mean, if they're both saying it, must be true. I mean, that's a rumour. I think they've probably got a fair few people. I don't rate Albon. I hope he's not in a Red Bull again because that's a waste of seat. Danny Rick should be there, although he's already had a chance. Put Hulk in there for God's sake. Give the man a chance. I mean, chat's gone absolutely mad because we're talking about Formula 1. So there you go. We can't keep on talking about Formula 1. That's not what this podcast is about. And if you
Alright,
do, you
we've
can
got
watch
a good-
2,000 other podcasts.
We've got a good segue from Formula One.
Yeah, so Ferrari are having a great week. They're making good decisions all of a sudden.
Oh, and actually,
Because-
shout out to Mark who DM'd me this for
Oh,
me
sure, yeah.
including it in the podcast.
Antonio Giovinazzi, who is quite a popular guy because he's just a nice bloke, Antonio. And
Because he
drives-
washed out from the pinnacle of motorsport.
Yeah.
Unless he's watching this, then I'm sorry.
Well, arguably he's now in GTPs, which is well, not GTPs, but LMHs, which is not far behind. And did he win Le Mans, or was he in the other Ferrari for Le Mans? I'm not entirely sure.
I think he was in the other one.
Maybe he was in. The other
I could be wrong though. I think he was in the other
Anyway, he's a good driver. He is doing a hosted open lobby on iRacing tomorrow. So
one. Well, let's
check
be clear.
that out.
Ferrari
Ferrari-
Esports.
Yeah, Ferrari Esports. Yeah. So it's cool that they're getting involved in iRacing.
And one of the three that are doing it, it's Giovinazzi, some other dude I've never heard of, and Isaac Gillison, who was my iRacing coach for like 6 months. He put up with me for like 4 hours, me and TK, every Monday, first thing in the morning,
Sure.
like 8 in the morning for 4 hours. Well, me and TK had a 2-hour session. I had a 2. So it was like, guys, should we just... And they
Wow.
were like,
Imagine
"Ugh."
spending multiple hours sat with you.
Yeah.
Can't imagine such a thing.
But no, they taught me Red Atlanta, so I'm so good. We did win Le Mans.
Yeah, he did win Le Mans. I am not sure what car he's driving. Hopefully the Merc. That would be funny. Being suggested in chat.
But it's nice Ferrari cashing in on what Team Redline are doing. Wait, sorry, how did I word that? Badly. Yeah, let's see.
Print of Redline. I still. I mean, honestly, come on. Rename AlphaTauri Redline. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
That's my
When is-
favourite of all the
It's gonna
nonsense.
happen.
If all the nonsense you say, that's my favourite. Say it again. Say here.
They're going to rename AlphaTauri Redline. Honestly, Verstappen eventually. Red Bull is so
Such a
just
good idea.
Verstappen's team You think it's actually a good idea?
I think it's brilliant.
Because if they want to push esports, just rename it Team Redline.
Oh,
And then people are going to be like, oh my God, this esports team has turned into a real F1 team. And obviously that's not the case. They've just renamed it the same thing. But it'd just be so cool. Honestly,
I think the only
come on, Max.
the only
Really
thing
make a
holding it
push,
back
man.
is it's Verstappen's, not. Am I right in saying? Oh no, did Redline do the partnership with Red Bull or Verstappen? Actually, it is.
You know what? I'm not actually 100% sure.
No, I
always
think
thought
it's
it was
Red.
Verstappen,
I
but
think it's Red Bull
it
because
may
of
be Red Bull.
G2. It's Red Bull.
Sure.
I'm not saying G2 are going to go completely under and all their drivers will leave for Redline. I'm just saying that will happen because I think it was Redline and Red Bull. Yeah, G2's done.
But like if, but I think Verstappen would be well behind it. Come on, Max, like make these documentaries, put sim racers into proper cars, rename F1 teams about sim racing teams. You've got the clout, man. Just do it. I think it'd be absolutely awesome. Just being confirmed. James Collade, man, that's a name from the past. I really supported Collade back when he was doing GP2. Quality driver. Pierre Guidi and Giovinazzi all won in the GTPs or the LMHs. So, man, that's so going to be confusing.
I bet most of the F1 drivers would love F1 money, but do GTP and endurance in the whole season. I bet you.
I think they're too centric. I don't think they'd want a teammate. I don't think they'd like to I don't think Norris would like to hand over his car to Piastri. He'd be like, nah, it's my car. I'm going to do the whole 24 hours.
Can't argue with you on that.
Let's move on. I'm sure we can't get away from Formula One because let's face it, that's what people care about, eh? Everyone say, this is classic, isn't it? Everyone say, oh, F1's rubbish. Don't care about F1. What's happening in this episode? Everyone's chatting about F1. People are giving their opinions on it.
Well, yeah, because even if the people who really, really hate it, it's because they love it, but they've been let down and they just want it to be better. So I get angry. I say dumb stuff like I'm never watching it again, or I'd rather watch, BTCC now. But it's because I get angry.
There you are, 6 o'clock in the morning, watching the first race of the season at Albert Park.
Correct.
Can't get away with it. Yeah, I mean, it's the same case that, the only people who hate Star Wars more than Star Trekkers are Star Wars people. So, more news when it comes to sim racing. Trak Racer have released their presented their new cockpit, the TR160S. Come on, guys. Name it better. Come on, what does 160S mean?
So this is a motion ready rig I saw. Yeah.
What does motion ready mean? Do you know?
I assume it's ready for motion.
But how do you add motion to it? Besides getting Britain's strongest man to jiggle it around, how do you add motion to it?
I assume all the plates and how the weight's distributed. Like it's very easy to add these bottom mounted. I don't know. I'm using words that hopefully you go, yes, David, that sounds right. No idea, mate. No idea.
This is a bit of a PR. This is from Box This Lab, this article. But the TR160S by Trak Racer, a standout in this racing simulator market, combines innovation and robustness. Its wide body design and curved aluminium frame make it a top choice for sim racing enthusiasts. Its thicker walls than competitors, heavy-duty brackets, and a well-engineered chassis. It offers exceptional rigidity, especially in the wheel mount area. Really, I just like the look of it. What are those monitor mounts? I mean, I just say it's good. Trak Racer.
There is a picture from the rear if you ever look down.
Okay.
Yeah, look, so
it's crazy.
I think it's just obviously it is mounted to the rig, which is never my favourite design, but it does look very customizable.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how easy is it to just move that?
Correct.
That monitor. I mean, that's a really good design. So.
And the footprint, is really good.
Yeah. No, I mean, if you're looking to get a rig, then Trak Racer are a good place to go. And of course, they're producing a lot of other stuff as well nowadays. So
actually, they're producing everything.
Yeah.
They're the one company, I think, that make rig, seat, headset, wheel rim, wheel base, pedals, pedal tray, but everything. Actually, one of everything.
And the thing is, like, they can do that because they got a good brand, Like when you buy a Trak Racer product, you think, yeah, this is going to be good. So yeah.
Gloves. shoes. Yeah, I
Just
think.
they need to make sure that it keeps high quality.
Yeah, exactly.
Like when SimuCube released their active pedal, oh, it's SimuCube. They've made great wheelbases. This is going to be good.
Do you know, I had a look at them today because they're doing like the throttle, a more basic throttle pedal with the brake and a base plate. And I was like, okay, like, so it's scaled down in price and they've realised things. I clicked on it and I was like, okay, so how much is this? Because I wouldn't mind getting it in, test it, use it, have some fun. So for the throttle pedal, the one proper brake and the base plate was 2,900.
Okay. So I'm trying to think how much. I mean, that's a big discount, right?
Yeah,
How
but
much was it before? Two grand for a pedal.
yeah, so they're charging the throttle is just a standard throttle though. Like, it has no
Yeah.
activeness at all, and then a base plate. Honestly, I like SimuCube. And I used their wheelbase for years, but it's
Does Tony still use his SimuCube active pedals?
he's SimuCube now. Like, he's
But he does actually like use them. Like
yes.
yeah.
But yeah, it's. I'm trying to find a polite word for doolally, if you can think of one, because I wouldn't want to say that.
No, be terrible if you did.
Yeah. They released it before it was ready price wise.
Sure.
Which is nice to do because you get to go first.
Yeah, but like if you're rich and you're like, oh, I want to get a sim racing rig, what's the best rig I can do? You get your PA to look it up, and they're like, oh, you can buy this for these 3 pedals for.
I've seen all
$6 grand.
these rich, famous racing. They're absolute toaster rigs.
Really?
Like, you look at
Okay.
them and you're like,
I don't know.
you have all the money in the world, mate. What is that?
Well, yeah, I don't know how rich people think.
Have you seen
that.
Lando Norris? He sits on like a stool with a desk and
Sure, yeah.
absolute.
Humble. Keeping
No,
it real. He's one
humble
of
is
us.
not the word.
He's one of us, London. The only other sim racing news, and this came out like a couple of hours, and I don't think I've even showed you this, David.
Oh.
Are you even part of the server, the Rennsport server?
Oh, I am. I saw the announcement as well.
You got a
Carry on.
ping?
Yes.
So this is like another chance to get beta keys. Come on, Rennsport, just give out the beta keys already. Like, you don't have anyone driving online anyway. You need all the people you can get. And they're saying, oh, if you take part in this event and you do well, or if you post a meme, then you get a closed beta key. Really, the news from this, though, was just the reactions. There you go, you got some middle fingers going up, a bunch of skulls, some Patrick Stewart emojis.
I think
and-
third from last is good.
Yeah, that one, and that one. And this is in the Rennsport thing, so come on, guys, just... do you know why they haven't just given away the beta keys? I don't know if you know more about the business model than me, but like...
I think it's
How does it work?
just this is all that's left. The want and the meme over beta keys. I think that's all that's left for the community
You think that once they give away the beta keys, that
There's
people are
nothing
gonna
to
be
talk
like,
about.
well, there's nothing left.
to talk about. Yeah, the
Okay.
discussion's over. I have no idea because there's no development. I haven't seen any significant update or a bug fix. Yeah, it's sad. I don't have anything to do on it. Like, I want to stream it and have fun and have a group race with my friends or something, but there's nothing to do.
Alan Lee's saying, are there any sim racers without a beta key? That's what I was thinking. They're giving away so many. They gave away like 15,000, didn't they, back in December, I think. If you look in the Rennsport Discord, man, there's a lot of people saying, I really want a beta key. And so there is still a lot of people who don't have a beta key somehow. So, yeah. And you know, that's the reason why, you know, most people do have a beta key. The few people who don't, just give them a beta key. But they're not going to. So we will see about that. So we've ticked the box. So we've ticked Motorsport Games today, and we've ticked having a go at Rennsport. So and we've done that for a while.
Yep.
I think that's all the sim racing news. Is there any other sim racing news you wanted to mention?
Obviously, iRacing went down. It was well, they had the database. They went down to maintain the database. That was scheduled.
Sure.
A few days later, it went down because of the database, which I thought was ironic because they preempted any problems by maintaining the database, only for that to cause a database outage. So, yes, but they handled it okay. Greg announced it into the forums. They fixed it pretty quickly.
Came up at like 4:30, didn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't too bad. Yeah. Wasn't like a couple of weeks ago where it was down till like 7 o'clock.
Yes.
I thought that prototypes wasn't going to go ahead, but it did. Alan Luth asking in chat, French fries with ketchup, mayo, or just vinegar? I'm dull, Alan.
Salt and
I
vinegar.
don't like those things. I hate vinegar, so I will just have French fries with nothing else. Maybe some salt.
If it's like from a fish and chip shop, I like just salt and vinegar. If they're big, chunky, greasy fries, like proper chip shop chips, and I like saying that because I've been in America for 11 years. To have them again is nice. Just salt and vinegar. Lots of salt. But if they're crappy, average fries, then yeah, I have a lot of brown sauce because I missed it. 11 years in America without any brown sauce, so I have a lot of brown sauce now and back.
Sure.
America's so on its sweet things. I like barbecue, don't get me wrong, but now I've been over there for a long time. I don't have much barbecue.
Mm.
I like.
Well, I guess it just doesn't live up, does it, compared to?
No,
there.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, HP sauce, Alan. They don't have it in America, mate. Don't go over there, mate. They don't even know what they're like. The closest thing they get you, because I tried a million sauces because I was going through a bit of a sweat and I was going to die. Some steak sauce, and it was close, but it weren't it.
Sure. Yeah.
It's like saying blue's purple. Yes, it has. No, it's not it. It's.
I go to the cinema quite a bit, and one of the common ads on that, along with the Richard Iwazi voiceover ads, he voices over half the ads. But one of the other ads is the baked bean ad, where like the guy is going on holiday and he's really upset that he's on holiday because he's forgotten his baked beans, and it cuts to him beforehand packing a bag of baked beans. And I really like that, and that's sort of the same with this.
So
in terms of bring your own sauces.
If you ever want to go to America and have baked beans,
yeah,
you have to get you have to go to the vegetarian section. What
really?
we have in America is vegetarian baked beans. They have sausages, meat, mince, pork, ham. That's in their beans. They can't. If you want what we have, and then you have to be careful if it's sugared.
Yeah. Well, now I whenever I go to Morrison's, I have to make sure I get the normal ones, not the no added sugar. So you gotta be careful with yourself.
Sure.
And I gotta be careful not to get the sausage ones as well. So yeah, honestly, what a pain it is. I think that's enough off topic. That was
a good segue.
That's probably the worst 5
Mate,
minutes.
if you're talking about Formula One and food, it's a hit.
Yeah. One of my favourite podcasts is a food podcast, and I'm a big fan of Formula One, so yeah, this is pretty much it. This is the end state of the podcast. So that is sim racing news.
Hey, Anders Meyer is in the chat.
We are now going to be moving on to Apex Racing Team, the professional esports team that we have at Apex, and we've got some pretty exciting news. In terms of last weekend, we scored solid points in PEC GB. Pete did pretty well. Luke did pretty well as well. Pete got P3 and P6. Luke got P2 and P10. Yeah, Garibaldi, he did well in race 2 in particular to gain a lot of places. He went from 16th to 8th in that one. So good points for Leo to finally get some points on the board after a poor round 1 for himself. But Pete and Luke still up there. I think they're 2nd and 3rd in the championship. No guesses who's in top. Obviously, it's Seb Job. So, Seb is looking pretty infallible right now in the PEC GB. Also, shout out to Luke Pennington, who's won all the races in the AMS. And as an ARL Porsche Cup driver, he is 100%. I'm personally taking responsibility for Luke doing well. So, congratulations to Luke for continuing to do well there. There was also DNLS last week, and in that one, it was a double podium. The 49 car, which was Sanchez and Sepanen, managed to finish in 3rd place, and we also had the Yanni and Luca Kita Porsche Cup. They managed to finish in 3rd place as well. So congratulations to those guys for some solid results.
Yeah, indeed. Some great photos as well.
Yeah, Lewis, well, not a great driver, but he knows what to do when he's out the car.
He does get bullied.
Yeah, this is a new trend, actually, and I'm concerned about Lewis. I don't think we can push it too far. Because one day he'll have a meltdown.
Yeah.
That's it. And I wouldn't blame him. Coming up this week,
Kend.
Kent. We have Pex coming back, start of the season. We have not just 4 drivers, but 7 drivers
Yeah, that's unheard of, isn't it?
in the Stormforce Gaming. I mean, this is probably the most drivers any team has had in PESC. And we're going back to like 10 years ago in the Grand Prix World Championship days when we had half the grid. And we've got a lot. Salva Talons, Luca Kita, Alejandro Sanchez, and Michael Yanni in the Stormforce Gaming. We've got Luca McCowan, Johan Harth, and Quinton Violette in the Apex Racing team livery. Who do you think will do best?
Well, if I have to pick,
Yeah.
okay, show me the next page. Luke, and yeah, well, you only asked one, Luke. Luke's going to win PES this year.
Wow. Okay. I'll go for Sanchez to
Well,
finish top.
Yeah, 100%. Sanchez is an absolute animal. Yeah, and like they're all far. I mean, there's any of those could win it. 100%. I'm not saying
Johan will be. Johan
is always there, mate.
last year was like either always had the pace.
Yeah.
He just didn't always put it together.
No, I remember because I was
Particularly
covering. I think I was covering some of the races for ART. Apex Porsche Esports Supercar. Yeah, practically. No, it's just Luke's year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to smash it.
He did finish. Who won the qualifier series? Do you remember? Luke finished 2nd. I think Michael may have been 3rd, and Parker may have been 4th or something. Parker's not driving for us; he's driving for Williams, of course. But
Yanni the Manny.
I can't remember who beat them on, but yeah, it will be
Caruso.
Well,
No, Caruso won
the PES last season. By the way, I think Anders said it in chat or hinted at it, but basically, yeah, ARA Porsche Cup is better than PES. In terms of entertainment value, it's way better, absolutely way better. Best series we have on the channel, and yeah, PES should copy our format basically because it's the best format that you can do. 2 couple of heats, B
Congrats.
final, A final.
I'm impressed.
I've nailed it.
Yeah, easy.
So, unfortunately, can't monetize it. They've got the game. They can change it. They could ban us from using the format if they wanted to. But yeah,
Oh
they should use it themselves. So yeah, I think that's Apex Racing team covered. Apex Racing League. There's still spots for Apex Racing Academy F4. We have got, I think, 38 drivers now on the grid. Oh, hang on, that's
Wait,
wrong.
no.
Ah, dear. That's the button. We worked so hard to get the buttons, and I'm not even pressing the right one now. This is ApexRacingLeague.com. Go over there to sign up for F4. 38 drivers on the grid. First race is tomorrow. Even if you miss tomorrow's race, you can still sign up for the rest of the season. It's 10 rounds, so do visit. It's ApexRacingLeague.com. You can also sign up for the remaining rounds of ARL Prototypes and the remaining rounds of ARL GT3 if you choose to. So do recommend that one. Let's go through Apex Racing TV. Some more good clips this week.
Lots of good clips.
Have you had a look at any of them?
Yeah.
He'll try the last.
This one's the first one.
Already,
Look at that. Zuckerberg is a regular in Spec Racer Ford and Crashes are a regular in Spec Racer Ford. Here it was. Just total.
Yeah.
This guy manages to somehow slalom his way through.
God, they're narrow cars, aren't they?
Wow,
This guy's
tough
surname
choice,
is
that
Justice.
one.
Josh
He did
Justice, I
have,
think his name is. Some of the names, absolutely brilliant. I think it's 3 minutes 20 into the race we get a replay of it.
Apex Racing
Here it
TV
is.
helicopter. Right, so that's Kurt Nunez.
It's actually right at the front where you
see the
Oh,
crash.
right, who was that turned in front of him and then they just got to the ground.
Oh, that guy was generous holding his brakes.
Couldn't stop on it.
It actually could have been a lot worse, but they're going so slowly, one because of the corner and two because of the car, that they've actually got time to respond. One guy reversing and just wiping out more drivers. It's great stuff. BRSCC, great racing in this series. They've got some pretty good clips here.
surviving that off into the gravel, up the inside.
This
into
is the
hairpin goes
IRL drivers
Chadwick,
one, yeah?
and that is the move for the lead, or is it? 'Cause Confidence
Yes.
says, I think
Liam
that's what
slipped
you're
us,
up
by
to,
the way,
William.
asking what time does
Does
the
the switch
F4
back
League
up the
go?
inside,
Good question.
just
20
let it over the
GMT.
line. It's gonna be very close. The gap
So
between them is about
European
half a tenth of a
evenings.
second, and it gives him
But
the track position he
everyone
needs
around
to
the world is
hold on to
welcome.
the lead. If he can turn
It's
this
just a
up
good
and sit
move.
first, as does Chadwick dare go around the outside. It's the latter. He dares go around the outside. He puts the
Cool.
brakes on the second part of the compression. They're still wheel to wheel in towards McIntyre's. Again, represents the undercut and 10 Bradbury
They
to
managed to get
the
it done.
background.
Oh, look at
Sideways
that
at the
move.
index of
Oh.
McIntyre's. Chadwick loses that
Great
then
stuff.
tapped off.
Yeah, he's a good driver.
And then there was, I've just titled this one Mess. I can't actually remember what it was. Yeah, so
Right
I
to the back of the
think
shot.
Dable gets
He's now joining in the
wiped
fight,
out.
and he certainly needs all the points he can get
There
to
he
stay
goes.
close.
Oh, what?
This is not going to work. And the man
And
who
then
is
there's
Power
just
Max
this.
Racing
I want to use a bad
in all
word to
sorts of
describe
trouble
it,
here.
but I
He's gonna
mean,
fall down the order, and that was quickly losing a ton of points.
it ends
Meanwhile,
with
side-by-side
housery, shall we
contact
say.
right- Ooh, that was
He
gonna
just
fall
wipes
down
him out
the
here.
order, and that was quickly losing a ton of
Just
points.
hard left
Meanwhile, side-by-side
from
contact
Oh.
right
on the track.
on
He's got no
necessary
grip.
side-by-side contact.
Keeps it on the track, to be fair.
Durham very deep,
But
just
yeah.
stops it short of the gravel and carries on.
Real life drivers trying iRacing. And there was also this good pass. We'll quickly show this. I'll go forwards a bit.
And Britain on the right. Who's last of a late break is down.
I think this
towards
guy gets
Trafford
2
Pit.
moves
They're
there.
gonna be turning
There he
into
goes.
the apex and sweeping round the
Like
outside.
a
With a
Doble.
beautiful move goes Dennison, and that might open the floodgates. Here comes Noble. 2 for the price of 1
passes
towards
nicely.
McIntyre's. Brilliant stuff.
I mean,
from
he
Noble.
shoved-
Nicely.
He shoved off someone totally unnecessarily.
Nicely, bonk.
Alan Lee saying, I want an LMP3 league so I can feature in all the crashes. We are thinking about doing an LMP3 league, so Alan, maybe you're a vote of confidence in that. Nick Horn saying, Chadwick is fast as anything in IRL Masters, so yes.
I've always what not AF means. As anything. Now I know.
Yeah, on a podcast, that's what
Yeah.
it means.
Looking ahead to Barry.
This is an overtake. It's not that spectacular, but trust me, Alton Park in Radicals is like a regular. There's never any overtakes. And Friedrich actually pulls it off.
Inside. Yeah, nice.
Did you do the open day, Alton Park, in GT4s?
I wasn't allowed to compete, was I?
Okay. Because there were very few overtakes that day as well. But yeah, Friedrich, really nice move.
Because they're worried when I win, it'll be awkward me getting the prize.
Well, yeah. And you would have won.
Easy. Yeah.
Would have beaten Leo Garibaldi.
Yeah, for sure.
Anything. And Barry loses 3 places. Here we go. This is a fun crash. I sort of spoil these. Let me know if I shouldn't spoil these. Maybe there's the.
First time
Maybe people like the
he's still got
surprise.
his nose marginally ahead of the Impulse Racing driver alongside. They're still alongside, dipping a wheel onto the gravel. That will compromise Hammer's exit.
Oh!
And now they've spun. Salamon's across the circuit. He's going to hit.
And then
the
Lazarus
Impulse
manages to
car,
get through
and
as
Lazarus
a
goes
Pro-Am
through
driver
all of
from
them,
4th
and
to
it's an
1st.
absolute
Let's
mess
go.
at Tosa.
Moldovan was really unlucky to be involved in that one, but
Hammer's
I think there was a bit of
driver
netcode.
alongside. They're still
Yeah, I'm
alongside,
trying to
dipping a
interested
wheel onto
here.
the gravel. That will compromise
Yeah,
Hammer's exit,
yeah,
and
yeah.
now they've spun.
There was.
Salamon's across the circuit. He's going to hit the Impulse car, and Lazarus goes.
Alan.
I'll be quiet, Alan. All right, yeah. Just you know, you can take a break from the insults, right, man? Just there's a time and a place.
This is the time.
You've seen how angry I've got over just people saying just quite normal stuff. Like, I don't know. I'm just irritable. But yeah, not necessary. Salomon, despite being in that crash, won the race and won the title. Congratulations to Gabriel Salomon.
Yeah, he's an animal in that car.
Such a good driver. He will be in PESC, I think, next year. I think he's going to qualify for PESC. So that's my call. Next, 2025, Gabriel Salomon in PESC and AlphaTauri are going to be named Redline. That's my prediction.
Yo, yo, yo.
Let's see. I'll go down to Paddy Power and see what odds I can get on that happening. Koss, I got Koss won the Pro-Ams, beat Luke Pennington. So if Luke Pennington wins PESC GB, then it means that AOA Porsche Cup is more competitive because he couldn't win in AOA Porsche Cup. So that's my logic for that one. Marshall won the AMS, so congratulations to Gordon Marshall. And Valkyrie Excite won the teams with Christiansen and Goddestad. Congratulations to all involved. A fantastic season. Honestly, one of the best Apex Racing League seasons we've ever done. Nick Horn was fantastic, obviously. A fantastic addition to the series. And just everyone was nice. I don't know if it's just because there's loads of Scandinavians, but everyone was just nice to one another. And the racing was really good. The format was great. The competitiveness in all the classes was great. Yeah, fantastic season. And it will return soon for the Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup.
Yeah, I'd like to do that. I'll be slapping this time.
Yeah.
Once I attend.
Sure, yeah. This was another good moment, actually. This was Michael Pedersen with a phenomenal non-save.
A bit of a spin there, a half spin there for Pedersen. And,
Oh, what?
On a straight. He nearly got it. He nearly got it. Good
He
save.
just keeps on trying to save it.
He was
Play that
he
again.
got it.
Oh, don't worry, we've got
So
an
bad
onboard
for
coming up.
Pedersen. I want to see how many times he snaps right. I'm going to count this. Okay. Waiting. It's 1, 2, 3.
Not as clear cut.
4, 5, 6.
He's still
The
on
bizarre
the
thing is that he's on
Why
the
is he
throttle
on the
whilst he's
throttle?
trying to save.
What is he doing?
That was about
Oh,
3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, yeah, why is he
still on
throttling?
the throttle. Why is he on
Wheel,
the
wheel.
throttle? What is he doing?
That was about
Shame.
7.
Nick Horn saying that he enjoyed Porsche Cup in chats. I'm glad you did, Nick. It was fantastic to have you along. And unfortunately, Nick finished last in the last race, and we literally started in qualifying of the first race. If we don't do anything this season, we will get Nick Horn off the bottom of the table, and come the season end, he was at the bottom. So I was a bit disappointed, but yeah, it was great. The last thing. Ray Esports Spec Racer Ford. So we have so many Spec Racer Fords. But yeah, this is a close finish.
Is this a popular league car?
Yeah, particularly in the US.
It looks like Soda will have to settle for P2, but it's not over yet. We might see some drag racing here coming to the finish. Jameson Huffman there. Ooh, it's going to be a photo finish. I think
6,000ths of a second.
Wow.
Do you think Huffman did the right thing here of moving to the inside?
No, I think he took off way too much pace. I don't know the draft level in this cars, but still, if he's trying to claim its shortest line, if you're not turning, then no line has been achieved. He is increasing.
I think what he would argue is that he's broken the draft by moving to the
Yeah, but he didn't
right.
move that far. Yeah, you could break the draft with 6 foot. He went.
Yeah, but he would argue that the driver behind would have followed him had he not been so extreme.
Hey, you asked me a question.
No, I'm being Laura Kunzberg here, and like.
But no, if the
interrogates him.
draft's heavy in the car, then he did the right thing to make sure there was 0 draft. But holy hell, he went quite far.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think he messed it up. I think he should have just driven straight to the line, taken the shortest route. That's what you do, right? But yeah, I was unsure. Alan Leith saying bathtubs are always good for racing. I think that comment was made last time, and yeah, they are just great for racing. Really good drafts, and yeah, fun league and fun broadcast. Check it out on Apex Racing TV. Spec Racer Ford Weekend Warriors on Sunday. Ray Esports I think is on Monday, so do check that out.
Cool.
We've covered a lot of stuff. It's not been a very long episode, this. Only about an hour and 10 or so. But I feel like we've made some progress when it comes to Formula 1. When it comes to Le Mans
groundbreaking.
Ultimate. When it comes to working out the stream deck, I know how to work that now.
Stanley in chat.
Hi, Stan. How's it going?
We're just wrapping up, mate.
Yeah.
Have I missed
You
it?
did too late, man.
Have I missed everything? Yep.
Yeah. Don't watch the start. I did an awful intro. Because I didn't know what to say before the broadcast. But some fantastic conversations about what
Le Mans Ultimate.
What was the highlight?
Formula 1, the arguments, debate.
Yeah.
It's always Formula 1.
It's always Formula 1, isn't it? We've dissed Le Mans Ultimate and Rennsport. I think we've been generous to Le Mans Ultimate. I think we've given a balanced opinion of it.
Yeah.
Rennsport, we did just show people posting vomit emojis about it. We were maybe a bit biased towards Rennsport, but I think Le Mans Ultimate, I think we've been generous to them.
I summed up all my Le Mans Ultimate Motorsport games in my tweet to them. they put out that video they put out, I replied to the tweet, was like, yay, you know, excited for this, can't wait, I love this, I love WEC. And then I put the GIF, but this is your last chance. This is it. If you let me down with this early access crap, then I'm no longer on your side. Have been on your side every time and you've let me down.
Yeah.
I'm always like, blah, blah, it's good for competition, blah, blah, and then this is it, though.
You're buying the game, though, right? As
Yeah.
access? Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be driving.
I've pressed the follow button, I've pressed the like button, I've pressed the wish list button.
Yeah.
I'm sad.
How long have we got? It will be released in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Is that how days work? 2.5 weeks. It's 18 days. Yeah, that's 2.5 weeks. It's very basic maths.
Stanley, the full release has turned
Early
into an early
access.
access.
So yeah, they were always saying it will be released on the 20th of February. That's the main story, is that they've realised they can't meet the 20th of February, so they've just called an early access in order not to get bad rep. More than they already have.
Yep.
Some people think that's an alright thing. We'll see. Yeah, anything more you want to say?
No. That's it. It's good. It was quite a day, but lots to ramble on about. Looking forward to next week.
Yeah. Liam slipped us saying very, very basic maths. Come on, Liam. I've got a C in A-level maths, all right? That's quite tricky to do. So I'd like to see your A-level in maths.
Very mature of you there.
Well, I think it's the most mature response I could come up with.
Yeah, I could tell.
Thank you very much for tuning in. Of course, do make sure to subscribe to the channel. Do check out Apex Racing TV social media as well on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. And see all of that stuff. I've been told that Liam Slipdifs is a teacher and he's going to DM me, so I'm going to get a telling off, which is going to send me straight back to 5 years ago of me fearing teachers. So yeah, that'll be that. We'll be back next week. We're not sure what news there'll be next week.
We never are.
So that's why you need to tune in, I guess. Yeah, and just make sure to watch all the Apex Racing TV broadcasts, really, because there's a lot of good racing on. I thoroughly recommend ARL Prototypes. I recommend ARL GT3 Trophy.
Apex Racing TV tomorrow, Pesk.
Yeah, Pesk. Yeah, the Twitch stream, we didn't mention that. Do check that out. Jamie Fluke's going to be where we are, chatting along with the racing. So, yeah, do tune in for all of that. And Peter Bowman actually will be here as well. So, yes, we will say goodbye for now. We will see you back next week for the next late Apex. See you then.